Hey you guys. So today I wanted to do a video on thoughts and thought forms. So I had this experience last week that made it so evident and so clear that we are not our thoughts. The thoughts aren't even ours, and how important it is to be aware, and also the importance of susceptibility to the thoughts that are crossing our minds. So what happened was there was a friend visiting me, and we were sitting chatting about many different topics. One of the topics we touched upon was addiction, and then specifically addiction to alcohol. Now, neither her nor I have any personal experience with this, but just by talking about it, obviously we connected to the energy of it. Now we kept talking about different things. The next day, suddenly, in the evening, I was sitting at home by myself, and suddenly there was this thought dropping out of nowhere into my head. Oh, maybe just take a glass of wine and relax a bit. And I was like, what? Where did this come from? I was almost like jumping from the thought because it was so foreign to me. Almost like if it would be like this sudden loud sound or noise that wouldn't normally be in an environment. And so obviously I did not take action on it. But I was really curious as to where this thought came from, because it was really, really not anything I was used to, or I thought that was mine, or that I was familiar with. Now it shows how important it is to be aware, and how much more easy it is to catch a thought if we're not susceptible to what it's saying. And also that the thoughts are not who we are. And there can be thoughts crossing our minds that aren't even ours. So if this would have been a thought, for example, about having experienced 10 years of physical illness, if there has been a lot of thoughts over those years running in my mind around pain, around limitations to the body, about symptoms and all of that. So there are like highways in the neural pathways in my head have been around those things. Now, if it would have been a thought dropping in that wasn't really mine, that had to do with that topic, probably it would have taken me a bit more time to catch that there was a thought that didn't really belong, and to have the awareness of it. Now, because this was so foreign, it was something to catch just immediately. If you're really susceptible to something, and the thought comes just because it's the same thought that we have been thinking thousands and thousands of times before, and it just comes and we're not aware of it, we can take action on it. So if we're changing like patterns, or changing something in our life, having the awareness of the thought and the susceptibility we have to take action on the thought is really important, which I think became so clear in this example. Now 2 days later, because I didn't really catch where it came from and how this had happened. Now 2 days later, I find myself during a workout suddenly having this clarity of what had happened. It was, of course, because we had had that conversation. We had been connecting to that field, and that field contains a lot of thoughts around this, obviously. And then because that was lingering, or I had been in contact with it, this thought that came from that field or that consciousness dropped into my head. Now, because it was so foreign to me, I could catch it immediately. And I wouldn't believe it, and I would just drop it. Now, the importance of just dropping a thought, first becoming aware, and then actually the power of the awareness of the thought, and being able to drop it so that it doesn't keep running, or we don't take action on it, is huge. It's, I would say, probably alongside with presence, it's the most important thing. Now you can look at it almost like a raindrop, right? So you have this cloud, huge cloud, and then there's this raindrop from that cloud hitting your head. That's a thought. there's a cloud, which is the consciousness of a field, which can be, for example, victim consciousness, or it can be lack consciousness. And then there are thousands and thousands of thoughts that has connection to, that are in the field of lack consciousness or victim consciousness or consciousness of addiction, or, you know, all these different clouds. And then there are these raindrops just falling on our heads. And if we believe that that raindrop is actually living inside of our head, we believe it to be ours, we believe what it says, we take action on it, and we don't really notice that it's there because we're so used to the raindrops from this specific cloud. That's when we are running in a loop. And so by having that awareness that you have a choice when that raindrop of a thought is hitting your head from that cloud, which is a consciousness, you have the choice of whether to hold on to it or not, or whether to believe it or not, to take action on it or not. Do you choose to make that thought yours? If we can remember that, take that with us and keep watching our thoughts, keep being aware, and remember the power of the choice and how susceptible we are to believe those thoughts and take action on it. We can change a lot. Hope this is helpful for you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.